I think Car and Driver magazine said it best in 2005. The Fusion gave Ford something it lacked for many years, a car that could contend with the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry in the intensely competitive midsize sedan market. Hello and welcome to another episode of the in-depth review series where we take an older, once mainstream car and review it as if it were a brand new car. This is how Neighborhood Car Reviews digitally preserves these cars to enjoy for years to come. Today's review subject is possible because of the amazing folks over at Community Ford of Mooresville. Make sure to check them out online as they always seem to have a very diverse inventory in rotation. Nothing else looks like it, and nothing else satisfies like it. From its gleaming grille to the distinctive tail lamps, Fusion leaves a lasting impression. So will you, especially with the jewel-like quad-beam multi-element halogen headlamps that flow upward, tracing the sleek sculpted hood line. Detailed wraparound tail lamps create a multi-engaging design around the rear with clear lens, translucent red accents, and sculpted belt lines. With the Sport Appearance package, you can stand out with super stunning style. Featuring contrast red stitching on a graphite interior with red cloth inserts on seat and door trims, a dark chrome grille, brushed aluminum trim, and a rear lip spoiler. This first generation Ford Fusion ran from 2006 to 2009 model years and was built at the Hermosillo Stamping and Assembly Plant in Hermosillo, Mexico. Ours was produced on April 24th, 2008. Hey everyone, in today's latest in-depth review series, we're taking a detailed in-depth walk-around look at this very nice, pretty well equipped, well preserved 2008 Ford Fusion. Now the Fusion was available in three trims. We had the S, the SE, and the SEL. This one happens to be an SE with the Sport package, and it is painted in red fire metallic, and it features the dark charcoal leatherette and cloth sport interior with the red accents. Now I have full pricing on screen and a full options list is in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. Today's review is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to cover everything from the exterior to the interior, performance, fuel economy, and everything else in between. Our SE 4-cylinder is front-wheel drive with power coming from the Duratec 23 2.3-liter dual overhead cam 16-valve inline 4-cylinder engine. This engine utilizes intelligent variable cam timing and is of aluminum block and head construction with multi-port fuel injection and can go 150,000 miles between tune-ups, and it features a 9.7 to 1 compression ratio. In the Fusion, this engine creates 160 horsepower at 6,250 RPM and 156 pound-feet of torque at 4,250 RPM. Car and Driver magazine tested their car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 8.1 seconds. 0 to 100 miles per hour comes in at 24.4 seconds, with the quarter mile hitting in at 16.4 seconds at 85 miles per hour. Top speed on the car is governor limited to 112 miles per hour. The Fusion is equipped with a 17.5 US gallon fuel capacity, and it consumes 4.3 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated total driving range of 402 miles. EPA fuel economy figures are 20 miles per gallon in the city, 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined average of 23 miles per gallon. The standard transmission on the Fusion and on our car is the Mazda-built 5-speed G5M manual transmission with a 4.39 to 1 axle ratio. For $875, you could opt for a 5-speed FNR5 automatic transmission, also built by Mazda, with low gear select and a 3.46 to 1 axle ratio. Steering is hydraulic power-assisted vehicle speed-sensitive variable rate rack and pinion with 2.7 turns lock-to-lock and a 16 to 0 to 1 overall ratio with a 39-foot turning radius. Wheels are the 18 by 7.5 inch machined aluminum with painted pockets and are shod in 255, 45, R18 all-season tires. Brakes are hydraulic power-assisted four-wheel disc brakes with ABS with 11.8 inch vented rotors up front and 11 inch solid rotors in the rear. The brakes on this car can halt the Fusion from 70 miles per hour to 0 in 173 feet. And as we walk along the rear of the car, we're going to cover it in depth like I do all my other videos. But just a very good looking car even to this day. It is a 2008, but it still looks good in 2024. Alrighty, looking around the rear of the first generation Fusion, as you can see, it's very highly styled back here. Looks really good in the red fire metallic. Just a deep metallic red here. With the SE Sport, of course, you get this rear lip spoiler. And all Fusions had the clear lens tail lamps with the red lenses inside and chrome bezels. Looks really, really good, almost show car like. This one's starting to spider out a little bit. I think it's just UV exposure and all that kind of stuff. All incandescent lighting back here. We have incandescent tail lights, stop lights, turn indicators, reverse lamps down here. And of course, the Ford logo right there in the center, right below the third brake light. Then of course you have your Fusion badge back here, and of course our SE trim designation. They're available in the S, SE, and SEL. And as we walk along the profile of the car, on screen I do have the dimensions for the car. It's a decently sized car. It's a small car, compact car, but inside is very roomy. Now, as we walk along the front, just like I did in the rear, and like I do all my videos, we're going to cover front styling in depth. But overall, just a very good looking car, very timeless design. Always liked the first generation Fusions. This is no exception. All right, looking around the front of the Fusion, I think it looks best from the front, although pretty much all angles of this car look really, really good. The Ford tri-bar grille with a lower tri-bar dual bars looks really, really good. Of course, on this car, we do have the body color skull caps on the mirrors, coming down the sharply flowing hood into the really cool headlamps. I've always liked that style of headlamp. Kind of looks like the tail lamps a little bit. Of course, it's a double stacked item, so you have halogen main or low beams. Your high beams are here, and of course your turn indicators. Side marker light, this one happens to be burned out. And then down below, of course, we do have our fog lamps set within body color bezels. The tri-bar grille here is a smoked chrome. I think that's part of the sport package. All the other ones would be a bright chrome. Of course, you have the large Ford logo up front. And the body color bezels for the fog lamps are part of the SE Sport package. Regular SEs would have black bezels, and the SEL would have chrome. All right, now before we get inside, let's take a look at the keys. We have a standard Ford key fob, has a Ford logo in the back, 4 buttons up front, lock, unlock, trunk release, and panic alarm. And then we just have the standard emergency key just in case your remote transmitter dies or whatever. But there is no smart key access. This car actually does not have the keypad entry system either. That was an option. But to unlock the car, we're just going to unlock it just like that. And then we're going to hop inside and check it out. All right, so our first look at the interior of the Fusion with the SE Sport package. Take a look at the door trim real quick. The doors do have a really nice vinyl covering on the top portion of it, textured to feel like leather. We do have chrome door pulls, power door locks. Part of the audio file system is the A-pillar mounted tweeters. We have this red and black check cloth as part of the sport package. Of course, we have power windows, power mirrors, power door locks. Map holder down here is the bottle holder. Additional door speakers are here. Taking a look at the driver's side instrument panel. Of course, you have a positional air vent here. Air defroster for the side windows. Part of the sport package is this brushed titanium look trim piece. And then moving down, of course, we have our headlamp control, fog lamp control by pulling the switch out, instrument panel brightness and dim, trunk release. We've also got a leather wrapped steering wheel, which tilts and telescopes. And taking a look inside the footwell, of course, we have 3 pedals that indicate this car has a manual transmission. Hood release is right here. Carpeted floor mats. All right, moving down, we have manual seat adjuster. Manual seat adjusts for the backrest adjustment, lumbar support here. But we do have 6-way power fore and aft adjust. You know, raise and lower the front portion and the back portion, the entire seat, all that kind of stuff. Just simple 6-way power adjusting seats. In addition, this car also has the power sunroof as part of the Moon and Tomb package. And let's take a look at the seats. The seats are very comfortable. They are very supportive. They have a black leather or vinyl. And of course, we also have the red accent stitching. And inside is that same checked cloth that we had in the door panels. And then, of course, red accent stitching on here as well. So overall, just a really nicely styled interior. And now we're going to hop inside and check out the rest of it. All right, now that we're inside, let's check out the rest of the interior. Leather wrapped steering wheel, as stated before, does have the red accent stitching on it as well. Airbag cover here, Ford logo in the center. Various controls here, multifunction controls on the steering wheel. Over here on the left-hand side is pretty much regulated to your cruise controls, relegated to them. So you have your resume at top, set accelerate, set deaccelerate here, and your power switch here. And then over on the right-hand side is your volume up and down, seek scan, your voice command, Bluetooth control, media control, phone answer, and all that kind of stuff, because this car does have the sync audio system in it. So it does have Bluetooth and connects your phone to it and all that kind of stuff. Multifunction control switch over here does control turn signals. Also has your high beam, flash to pass, wiper washer controls, all that kind of stuff. Front and center is our instrument cluster. Instrument cluster is pretty basic, but very large font, easy to read. Satin silver bezels around there, large red pointers, lights up green and red at night. Of course, you have 7,000 RPM tach, fuel gauge, coolant temperature, assorted warning lights, and a 120 mile per hour speedometer. The brake is on because I have the parking brake set. And then there in the center, we do have our trip computer controls there. Right now it's showing 127,768 miles. And the fact that we are facing north and it has 277 miles to empty. However, by using these buttons here on the instrument panel, we can actually control that by flipping the info button. We can go through our miles per gallon, average speed, time. We have 2 elapsed timers, nothing, trip A and trip B. If you hit the setup button and the reset button, it goes through its complete system check and it tells you if everything's A-OK, which in this car, everything is A-OK. We don't even have any warning lights lit, which is not the same for my 2009 Ford Fusion, but I digress. Also, you can hit the setup button and you can actually change like all of your units, all that kind of stuff, from English to metric, all that kind of information. So it's pretty cool. All right, moving over the top of the dash, as you can see here, it does have that same vinyl soft touch feel. Kind of looks like leather. This car, however, is starting to warp a little bit at the base of the windshield and around the airbag door. That does have a tendency to happen on some of the older ones, especially because of the black dashboard. It does get incredibly hot. The top part of the dash does open up to reveal a small amount of storage there. And we have our 2 air vents right here in the center. And of course, you can open and close the vents and all that kind of stuff and adjust them. And as part of the SE Sport package, we do have that brushed aluminum trim here. Does have the Fusion nameplate, info, setup, and reset for the trip computers. And of course, we also have our 4-way flashers, passenger airbag indicator. This button here would be stability control if this car is equipped. And then moving down, we have a 6-disc CD changer, MP3 readback. And of course, also works with the Bluetooth system as well. AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. And then down here, single zone manual climate controls, an AC control, recirculate, and rear defroster. The other cars would have the heated seat buttons right here and those little positions there. One interesting thing to note, on these Fusions, especially the SE, if you were to take this trim plate off, behind the Fusion would be a dead plug with a wire in it, which is really interesting. And you can see on my 2009 Ford Fusion, I actually opted to replace my trim panel, which looked like faux carbon fiber, and it was really terrible. And I replaced it with the gloss piano black lacquer finish one from an SEL. And that wire actually plugs into the analog clock, which is a pretty nice feature to have. So S and SE Fusion owners, you can actually take this off and replace it with a Mercury Milan or the Fusion SEL applique and have a working analog clock. Anyway, all right, moving down. Small odds and ends tray, 12-volt cigarette lighter, This car does have the sync, and this car also has the interior ambient lighting. So pressing this button, you can actually cycle through all the colors. Footwell lighting, cup holder lighting, and rear footwell lighting. Of course, this car does have a manual transmission, 5-speed manual, dual front cup holders, a real handbrake, and a nice padded armrest here with accent stitching, 2 levels of storage. And then down here we do have 12-volt power point, audio input, USB, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the interior of the Fusion. Overall, it's a pretty nice little car. Overhead, we do have an automatic dimming rearview mirror. This have the integrated microphone for the sync system. This big cavity here would actually used to have a sunglasses door, but it's fallen out of this car. And of course, we do have overhead reading lights, power sunroof control, and then over here we do have nice cloth padded sun visors. They do feature illuminated vanity mirrors, and the sun visors do swing and slide out, so you have pretty good coverage here. And of course, overhead, we do have overhead assist handles and height adjustable seat belts. All right, now that we've seen the front seat, let's see the rear seat. Opening up the rear doors, nice wide opening doors, very roomy in the back seat for a car of this size. Take a look at the door panels. They look pretty much the same as the front doors. Same soft vinyl touch trim, black and white or black and red checkered cloth applique, armrest, door pulls, power window switch, chrome door releases, door speakers, but no storage. However, we do have seat back mat pockets in the backs of both seats here, which is really nice. No air vents back here or anything like that. These 2 little dots there are for your ambient lights. And overhead, we do have overhead assist handles, coat hooks. And let's take a look at the seats. The seats do seat 3 across. They are a 60/40 split folding seat with integral head restraints in the outboard seats. They do feature the same accent stitching, contrasted cloth, 3-point belts for all passengers, and of course your anchors for your child seats back there up on the shelf. In addition, you can pull this down here. It's the armrest, and does have integral cup holders as well. If you want to fold the seats, you cannot do it from the inside of the car. You have to actually go to the trunk of the car, drop the seats, and release them that way. All right, so here we are in the trunk. You have your pull lever for the right seat and for the left-hand back seat. Just pull that. It'll actually drop the seats down, come back around, and there you go. Pretty nice, but I wish you could actually do it from inside the car. It'd be a lot more convenient. But, however, it's still nice that they actually fold. right, there are 3 ways to open the trunk in this car. The first way and the easiest way is just by pressing this trunk release button here on the left-hand side of the driver's side instrument panel. You can also just take your normal key, stick it in the keyhole here, turn it to the right of the car, and that'll pop the trunk open. Or you can just double press the trunk release button here on the key fob. It'll unlatch the trunk, and then you just lift it up the rest of the way. It is counterbalanced on hydraulic struts and these articulated hinges here. All the hinges are actually out of the way of luggage area, so they do not impede. And as you can see, for a car of this size, even with the interior space it also has a very decent trunk as well. Nice load flat floor. It is fully carpeted. It is also illuminated back here. You can see the openings for your 60/40 seats. You've also got the emergency release handle here in the trunk lid, which is also lined in a felt light carpet. And then down here in the compact spare tire, and you also have your jack and tools back there as well. Another nice feature is these integrated grocery bag hooks here. They keep things from flying around. So overall, just a very nice thought out trunk. Closing the lid is easy, just like that, and just letting it latch. And there you go. Alrighty, and there you have it, the 2008 Ford Fusion SE Sport. We hope you found the video informative, and if you did, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhood car reviews and our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.